Hey friends, let's talk about magic and mysticism. Um, Most of you may know this about me, but I really believe that we are human beings who have these souls, and our souls are here living this human experience. So, at the core of everything, yes, we live in these bodies, we have these beliefs and these thoughts, and we live in this earth. And we are at the center, at the epicenter of us, we are souls having human experiences. So, in the last few years, this has become more and more clear to me. One of the ways that I just was so excited when I found this. It was kind of led to me through human design, which is a really amazing transmission. You should look it up. It's called the Gene Keys. I'll show you this book. It might be backwards for you, I don't know, but it's the Gene Keys. And it's a transmission that was transmitted to a man named Richard Rudd. And it's based on, and I'm going to do my best to explain it, it's something you have to experience. And I've just started diving into this in the last couple of years, but it's a transmission based off of the I Ching, human design, the Kabbalah, and it was downloaded to Richard Rudd at a point in his life. He received this information. And what I love about it is that it has this number associated to it. So the Gene Keys is based on this idea that we have 64 codons in each genetic code that we have. And there are 64 archetypes in the I Ching. And apparently the number 64 is found everywhere in nature when you break things down. Again, not an expert. I just feel really called to share this with you. So we kind of know this through epigenetics, the study of epigenetics and family systems, which I work with my clients, that trauma that can happen to our ancestors, grandparents, great-grandparents, and what have you, losses and unprocessed trauma can impact us here now. One of those examples is I have a thing about food. Always have. There's never enough. I need to eat as much as I can right now. You know, a lot of us have that. You can link that to the depression, as well as my father's side of the family was in a place very close to Rotterdam during World War II, and they lived through what would be known as the Hunger Winter. There was no food. They ate tulip bulbs. So there's this messaging in my DNA to be very aware of when we have enough food and when we do not have enough food. So what the beauty of the Gene Keys is that it shares that yes, that happens. Trauma is passed down. It impacts our genes. It creates these shadows or beliefs that we carry through our lives. And what I love about the Gene Keys is that it gives us hope too. So we're not just victims to what we experienced, but we can also evolve in our genetics. We can evolve through these beliefs that we have, these ways of being that we hold on to. And this goes into, I don't know, humanity and how humanity has all of this stuff. I can't explain it all totally, but I'm just really excited about it. I want to share it with you. And there's this piece in here that I love. So there's this, so while we have this trauma that sticks in our genes. There is also, they've also researched DNA, that it has this property. Let me just get this up a little more. These electromagnetic properties that have an ability to attract photons, which are elementary light particles, which causes them to spiral along the double helix of DNA. What this is doing essentially is the DNA is weaving light through itself. And it becomes this superconductor to increase the frequency, which is the light, through your mine genetic codes. So if we think that we're here to evolve, I do, and that everything we go is a sort of ascension through evolving as human beings, our genetics have something to do with this. So the Gene Keys has 64 keys. That's as technical I'm going to get. And they all have a shadow side, a gift, which is on the other side of the shadow, right? So, you know, one of my big shadows is I was very depressed as a teenager and through my 20s. But what's happened is my ability to move through that shadow of depression has allowed me to really embody, especially in the last few years, this sense of joy inside of me. Okay, so there's the shadow, the gift, and then the siddhi, spelled Siddhi. The siddhi is a Sanskrit word. So this is also super cool about it all, is that it's all woven into these really Eastern philosophies, right? That they knew about this stuff. There was just nothing to prove it. And a siddhi is essentially like a magic power. It's like the highest expression of that gene. So each of these 64 keys has a shadow, a gift, and a siddhi. And we move through these as human beings. And you can go onto the Gene Keys website and you can see, based on your birth time and birth date, what gene keys are active in you. I'm not going to go into that today, but I'm going to show you my other piece about this. So a couple years ago, I taught a class and I was introduced to this amazing these amazing cards called the Wisdom Keepers Guidebook. My co-instructor brought these in and was like, we need to pull these for our class. So I fell in love with these and quickly realized that they were part of the Gene Keys, which felt very synchronistic to me. And so each of these cards, there's 64, this artist made these beautiful paintings of these 64 archetypes and then linked them to the Gene Keys. And I've been pulling these cards in my newsletter once a week for the energy of what we might be experiencing, the community I have in my newsletter. And I pull 3 cards and people can choose 1 or 2 or all 3 and see what lands for them. And so I thought today I would pull a card for all of us and all of you. So I think it's July or June 12th if you're watching this later, and it can resonate with you much later too. But I'm just going to take a minute and I'm going to pull a card and read you what the book says and then share my own perspective about that. So wants to come. So it's key 17. And its gift is far-sightedness. And isn't he beautiful? Okay, so 17. The gift is far-sightedness, the shadow is opinion, and the city is omniscience. I'm not saying that right. There's a quote here from Richard Rudd to get us started. Far-sightedness can be said to arise directly out of the heart rather than the mind. So, my gift to you from him, from this beautiful, beautiful man. I am here to remind you that nothing, no opinion, theory, dogma, or belief is more important than love. The only way to liberate yourself from the unhealthy grip of an opinionated life is to develop a sense of humor. True far-sightedness requires that you don't take yourself too seriously or what anyone says too personally. Laugh more. It's not about shutting down your brilliant mind, ignoring the patterns that you see, or giving up on improving the world, but it is about being able and willing to see and feel every aspect of the whole simultaneously. Have all the opinions you want, but remember, you are not your opinions. You are so much more. You are a scientist of the heart, here to contribute your part to the future of humanity by seeing the small and the big picture all at once. So this is really beautiful, this time of age that we are in right now, where there is a lot of polarization happening between humans, a lot of different opinions and fighting and disagreements. It's very easy to get sucked into. And this idea of can we, can you, can I know that we have our opinions, know that I have this opinion or this way of being based on the systems that I grew up in, so family, culture, religion, country. Can I hold my opinion while at the same time considering the experiences and perhaps the reasons why other people feel differently than me or than us? Can we know that if we disagree, that we're still okay? And what's the shadow again? Opinion. So can we have different opinions? Again, way easier said than done, right? Our world really values opinions and proof. And that's a part of what is coming up collectively right now. Everyone has an opinion. And so this gene key is asking us, can we begin to infuse ourselves with light and maybe support our inner frequency to rise so that we can start to see a wholer picture, bigger picture. When we're focused on what we believe to be true, what we know to be true, we leave out all of this other stuff. Again, easier said than done. We're not taught how to do that. So, I just felt really called to come in here today. Pull a card for you guys and tell you about my love for the Gene Keys. And I think what I love about it the most, about this and the Gene Keys book, is that it empowers you, it empowers me to access the wisdom that I have, to access my truth, to do what Richard Rudd lovingly calls the art of contemplation. To contemplate, okay, what's happening right now? Right? We don't have, with this, we're not asking for answers. We're asking for guidance. And then we get to take what we want to take and leave the rest. And whatever it is you choose to take and whatever it is you choose to leave is perfect for you. Again, it's always easier said than done, but I think that's the beauty and difficulty of this very human, sometimes joyful and sometimes painful journey.